Katy Perry was the biggest pop star in the world, but today a lot of people wonder why she's not as relevant as she once was. Her career trajectory is a perfect case study in what happens when you lose touch with your brand identity, try to be someone you're not to stay relevant, chase trends instead of setting them, and misunderstanding why people liked you in the first place. In this video, part 2 of our series on using celebrity examples to learn about branding and storytelling, we will break down what we can take from her story and how to apply it to our own brands. But before we go any further, this isn't about tearing down Katy Perry. She's created music and moments that brought joy to millions and millions of people. But her career arc is one of the clearest examples of brand strategy mistakes at scale. We can learn from what didn't work without diminishing what did. So mistake number 1, there were serious question marks around her brand identity from day one. So what most people forget about Katy Perry is she didn't start as Katy Perry. In 2001, she released an album under her real name, Katy Hudson, a Christian contemporary music album. It was full of gospel music and songs about faith. It was a pastor's daughter making music for the church crowd, but unfortunately it failed. Then in 2008, she shows up as Katy Perry with I Kissed a Girl, a song about kissing another girl and liking it. The complete opposite of the Christian music past. It was colorful, provocative, sexual, campy, fun, zero mention of her religious background, and it actually worked. But was this rebrand authentic, or was it just convenient timing? Did she genuinely transform into this fun, rule-breaking pop star, or did she see what was working in 2008? For example, Lady Gaga, provocative pop, and shock value. So from a brand strategy perspective, it was the perfect time for a song like this, because reality TV and celebrity culture was taking off. From MTV, pop stars, tabloids, and audiences craved bold, unapologetic personalities, strong, larger-than-life figures that broke the norms. Social conversations around sexuality were also opening up, and people were more curious and receptive to playful rebellion. Pop music was also crowded with very safe, radio-friendly love songs, so Katy's song stood out immediately. So from a branding standpoint, she wasn't just selling a song, she was selling this persona, the girl who could break the rules and have fun, making her instantly more memorable. The biggest brand mistake isn't being inauthentic, it's being authentically inconsistent. So Katy Perry might have genuinely been evolving, but she never brought her audience along for the journey. She showed up as someone completely new and expected people to just accept it. No explanation, no narrative, no thread. And no thread connecting who she was to who she was becoming. The reality is your origin story does have an expiration date. The narrative that got you attention will eventually trap you if you don't consciously evolve it. But it's also about how you communicate that to your audience. If your brand is built on rebellion and breaking out of the mold, what happens when you've been out of the mold for 10 years? By 2017, Katy Perry had been the provocative pop star for nearly a decade. The pastor's daughter gone wild narrative was old. She wasn't breaking out anymore. She was the establishment. So what was her brand now? Was it still the campy, fun, colorful pop? Was it the rebellion narrative? Or was it something else entirely? And if so, what was it? This is where the identity crisis started. You can't rebel forever. And if your entire brand was built on, I'm breaking the rules, what's your brand when you've already broken every single rule? You have 3 options. Option 1, become the builder. So transition from I broke out to here's what I built after breaking out. Show the results of your rebellion, not just the rebellion itself. Option 2, become the authority. Use your rebellion credentials to establish yourself as the expert. I did it differently. It worked for me, now I'm going to teach others. Then there's option 3, finding new things to rebel against. But this only works if it's authentic and there's actually something new to fight. Option 4, stay frozen in your rebellion era and become irrelevant. This is kind of what Katy Perry did. For example, let's say you leave the corporate world to start a brand. Your brand becomes I escaped the corporate grind. Great. So that's a great origin story. Very relatable, it gets attention, but 5 years later, you're not escaping anymore. You've built something new. So now what's your brand? If it's still just anti-corporate, you're stuck in the past and you need to evolve. So you have to ask yourself a few questions. Is my brand built on what I'm running from or what I'm running to? If someone asked you, who are you really? Could you answer it clearly? And also be honest with yourself. Are you showing parts of who you really are, or are you performing what you think will work? Mistake number 2, she completely misread the cultural timing. So Katy Perry did do incredible things. Whether or not it was truly who she was, she created amazing songs and visuals. But at some point, it did feel like it went from setting trends to chasing them. And nowhere was this more obvious than in 2017. What did the culture want back in 2017? Vulnerability and rawness, like Taylor's confessional reputation reputation, minimalism and stripped back production like the indie pop influence that was growing, and authenticity over performance. People were tired of overly produced pop. And then there was the political exhaustion. Trump had just been elected. People were exhausted by performative activism. What Katy gave to them, well, big concepts and false messaging. Witness was about purposeful pop and consciousness, performative wokeness, the platinum pixie cut, the 96-hour live stream, and so much more. Katy's problem wasn't just, is this real? Timing isn't just about being current, it's about reading where the culture is going, not just where it is. By the time you see a trend, it's already been done. The smart move is to anticipate what's next or create what's missing. So in 2017, Katy saw that political pop was big, but she missed that people were already exhausted by it. Questions to ask yourself: is this trend peaking or just starting? Am I early, on time, or too late? What's the opposite of what everyone else is doing? Do I have the credibility to speak on this topic, or will it feel forced? And most importantly, whatever you do decide, it's about taking your audience on that journey. Don't just have a complete rebrand without actually communicating with your audience. Ask them for feedback. What do they also want to see? And how can you implement that into where you're trying to go?